Hi everyone, so good to be back at the Fested Summit. I'm Amber and I'm tuning in from Aruba. So my day only just started, but I hope you've had a super inspiring morning already with lots of sessions. But I'm sure you did. Um, so we're here for those who are just tuning in at the world's largest summit on conscious tech. It's super cool to be here with so many people knowing about the latest trends and also who are working on using technology for the greater good and for the planet. So I'm super excited to be here. Um, I'm one of the editors of Value magazine, and for Value we interviewed Selma, and that's how I actually got to know about this summit and this movement, which is very very inspiring. So for the next session, um, Tatjana Serganova and Pierre Moisan are going to talk about the world is changing as we know it, a future of VR and the metaverse. I'm very curious. I have to admit, I'm not really a big tech nerd myself. So during Corona, it was the first time I ever wore the VR glasses, and I thought it was very intense. So I'm not sure if I'm ready for the metaverse and a shared virtual world with like lifelike environments. But I'm super curious to hear more about it. Um, so, Tatjana, take it away and please introduce us to Pierre. And yeah, um, maybe before we start, let me remind you that wherever you're watching, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or LinkedIn, you can always ask your questions and they will appear in screen. So, yeah, enjoy.
Thank you, Amber. Hi, everyone. It's so lovely to meet you all. I'm tuning in from London, so it's great to hear people from all different locations with innovation ideas. So today we're gonna have very futuristic, very interesting topic that everyone is talking about VR, about metaverse, and I think that Pierre is a perfect person to discuss this with. Pierre, I would love if you could tell us a little bit about your experience and what's your first one sentence? What's metaverse is for you?
Okay. Well, I was a lawyer for years. Then I became an entrepreneur in video games. So metaverse, everybody talks about it as if it was a new thing, but it's not exactly a new thing. For example, one of my studios, we did games called MMOG, massively multiplayer online games. What are those games? There are games where you pick your avatar, where you buy some stuff for the way you dress, you buy a home, you buy furniture, and you walk around, you meet friends, and you talk, and you can also do trade. You can buy, let's say, a new hat that you prefer, and so it is a universe because metaverse. Meta is Greek, and it means above, above the universe. So you have a universe over and above the normal universe. So this kind of game was already the infancy of a metaverse, if you wish. So it's not because Mark Zuckerberg tells us that it will happen that it's not already happening.
Yeah, Pierre, it's amazing. Like I feel that gaming industry is already a step ahead. It's amazing to hear how people are involved in different and dedicated to some of the games. So I actually would love to hear from you about your opinion and about VR and gaming, how it's evolving. Do you feel it's something that gonna replace PC and console gaming? Is it something that gamers need to? Does every gamer need to buy some VR device right now and start doing it? What's your opinion on that topic?
Do you have a VR headset?
I actually don't have VR headset, but I have something like very simple and I played with that. And actually, like I went to this little studios that you have in shopping malls where you can try the experience. And I really, really, actually, it was lots of fun, but I don't think I'm ready to play for a few hours a day. It was like, like 10 minutes and it was fun. And that's it. That was all I enjoyed, and but I didn't feel that I wanna um, bring VR gaming experience in my home.
Okay, see, me neither. I don't have, I'm a gamer, I own video game companies. I don't have a headset. Why is that? One of the reasons, 3D television, for example, every 5 to 10 years, they say, oh, 3D television is coming. This time is the right time. Well, VR, it's kind of the same thing. Everybody says, okay, it's coming now, it's coming. Let's invest millions of dollars in companies that do VR. It's coming, it's coming. And it has been 5 to 10 years that people have said VR is the future, and it's now, it's coming. Well, it's not even there yet. See, Oculus, that belongs to Facebook, they're launching a new headset, the Oculus 2 or something like that, and it's 459 US dollars or Canadian dollars. So now it's becoming accessible. The price is not too much. But one of the problems that they have with VR is that you have nausea. If you play for too long, at one point, you feel like, whoa. And supposedly it's a biological factor. It's like your body is, let's say, walking during a war and you have to avoid things and stuff. But at the same time, your real body is not threatened. There's like a misperception between the body's defense reactions and what's happening virtually. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason is you feel like if you're claustrophobic, or even if you're not, you might become, because putting that on your eyes makes a lot of people feel uncomfortable. So another problem is the content. You need good content. So it's coming, but once again, when you look at the characters, at the rendering, at the textures, it's as if we were moving back in time, not forward, because the power required to have nice images is a lot, and so the technology is not ready yet. So eventually it will come. Everybody's asking, okay, is it next year? Is this going to be this year with the new Oculus, for example? Maybe, but I don't think it's ready yet. I think what will be more interesting eventually is mixed reality, where you have, like, for example, I'm talking to you now. So let's say a flying rabbit would appear next to me. It would be interesting, right? And I would still be here without my glasses. So we would like that. So I think probably it's going to be more a different technology that will succeed. Mm-hmm. But it will happen in the sense that there's a lot of money to be made. People, it seems like, people like entertainment. People need to forget sometimes about their normal life. Let's say I wish I would be blonde. Well, my avatar can be, and I don't need to pay for a hairdresser and hurt my hair with painting it. So people like to, if I'm shy, I will have an avatar that's super gung-ho, that will go for it, So I can have another me, that's the me that I wish I would be. And so a lot of people would do that, Instagram, you have filters, you're with Snapchat, right? You see how people, they create like kind of another self,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so you're saying that VR is going to be there, but it's very slow adoption process.
Yes, it is. It is slow.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, I also wanted to share one of my VR experience recently. So I went to exhibition about Van Gogh, and one of their part of the exhibition, they offered VR experience with Van Gogh, and you can fly through his village and where he painted and what he saw. And actually, this was like the best thing that I did at that exhibition. There was lots of interesting content, but that make me feel what their artist feel and what he saw. So I'm still, when I'm thinking about the exhibition, that was like very interesting experience. So I actually feel that this something is more short term in terms of VR adoption for like experiences like exhibition, maybe rather than gaming. What
Yeah.
do you think?
Yeah, it is. It is true that, for example, I heard that in Egypt someone did that. Like you can travel to Egypt virtually, for example. So a lot of people dream of going to Egypt and seeing the pyramids, or seeing just the people going to Cairo, or seeing the Nile and everything. So, and with the pandemic that kept us stuck at home, it can be super nice to take your headset and go to Egypt, staying in your home. So, I mean, there is a lot, no mistake, there is a lot of potential in this. A lot, everything that you wish, because that's it with humans. We can imagine stuff, but we can't do it. And it's the contradiction of the human condition. Like right now, I'm totally able to imagine that I will float in the air and go, but I can't do it, right? But then in VR, I could do it. I could say, okay, I'm going to fly up. And so these things are kind of, we're going to use, it can become the realm of creativity, because we can imagine so many things that we cannot do physically, but then we can experiment it virtually. We can go to space. I can walk on the moon with VR, right? But
I
I
would love
can't,
that.
so this is the promise. This is where it becomes interesting, and it will happen. And people also, it's great to be able to meet, let's say, 10 friends in the metaverse and talk and stuff like that, because here I'm alone right now. But if I was in the metaverse, I could talk to you, and also to Salma, and also to Hala, and also so this is great. One thing that will, if we want to see the big metaverse, the one that will be able to go to the store, will be able to walk into New York City and stuff, one key factor that will slow it down is interoperability. Let's say if I play Roblox or Fortnite, some people say those games are also metaverse. Well, I cannot take my assets from Roblox and put them in Fortnite, because they belong to two competitors, right? And they won't let you go through one another. So eventually, if they allow that, there will be a metaverse. But otherwise, there will be mini metaverses, one belonging to Facebook, one belonging to Tencent, one belonging to this and that. And it won't be the real universe unless you do interoperability. One technology that can help a lot with interoperability is the blockchain NFTs. I don't know if have you bought an NFT recently?
I haven't, but I'm looking into it. I feel it's kind of a hype you need to jump on. So I recently looked into some art NFTs, but I'm still on the edge if it's something for me and researching, but it's definitely a very hot topic at the moment.
Yeah, you know that an artwork sold for $69 million at Sotheby's?
That's crazy.
69 million. And it's like the same image. I could show it to you now on my computer. But one person owns the blockchain code behind it, so they can pretend, they can say, this is mine. But at the same time, you're like, why would I pay for that? At the same time, a lot of speculations happening, like with Eritreum, with all those money, Bitcoin and everything. You can see how it goes up, down, up, down. People are speculating. And it's the same as money, like a dollar is a paper thing. It's because everybody agrees that it has value, that it has value. Otherwise, it would be a paper thing. You would just throw it. You wouldn't need it. You need money. I mean, you have money system because of the belief that it's worth something. So if tons of people start believing that blockchain NFTs, protected NFTs, it means non-fungible tokens for the people who don't know. So
Yeah.
then if people believe it, it will work. If people don't believe it, it won't work. like personally, I would have a tendency to be a non-believer because I don't perceive the value. But then I will perceive the value if everybody buys it. And like if my friend says, "Oh, I bought this little cat for $10 and now it's worth $1 million," I will say, "Oh, maybe I should buy one too." So it's all related.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a process that takes time for us to put our head around. Like I remember first when we had cash and the plastic cards came along, everyone, not sure if I want to use just have like just plastic cards instead of my cash. And now everyone using, no one have a cash anymore.
Yeah.
And the same with, but definitely people getting more comfortable as well. I recently attended Art Basel, and some of the artists offered a choice either of digital art or physical art. And if you choose, let's say, digital art, then essentially the original, the proper art that we know it as, it will be destroyed. And people choose digital art. I was like, wow, this is amazing. People want digital art. They don't want original. And this is such a mind shift, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is very strange. Like, see, I have art behind me, and it's real, original, physical art. It's there, and for me, it's more valuable than if I showed it on my computer, and then
Same for me, but I guess we will be there too soon.
Yeah, so it's a trend. We'll see. Is it just a fad? Because over the years, I've been in the industry, technology industry for years, and yeah, there's what I used to call, well, people call it, not only me, but what we call vaporware. Like you have special effects and all the smoke, and then you move the smoke, and there's nothing behind. So there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of trendy words. And then it's interesting to try to figure out what is permanent, what is a real structural change, and what is just a fad, that will go away. So, but I have a feeling that NFTs will work because first of all, a lot of people already believe in it. So there's a critical mass of believers, and also blockchain has its utility. It's useful. And a lot of people, it supposedly really works, the protection it offers an asset. So it can be not only art, but it can be your personal data. It can be your medical record, for example. You don't want everybody to know your medical record.
Yeah, but if my medical record will help solve the life, I feel like I deserve it, right? And for people to pay me to get this data. So it's also.
Exactly. So that can be also interesting. So I guess the metaverse will happen. Would it be only because it already exists? There are metaverse. If you want, go play Roblox, and you will be able to see Ariana Grande doing a concert there, and you can invite your friends, and so you will live a metaverse experience.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, especially right now with all the restrictions and COVID-related traveling bans. However, I would still prefer to go on a concert or visit Western Summit in Egypt physically than in metaverse world.
Yeah, that's it. So, but then the COVID has accelerated a lot of trends. Like people have been wanting to work from home a lot, not so much, but yes, people say, "Oh, if you have the choice, do you want to work from home?" And for a while, people said, "No, we won't let people work from home because they will be lazy. They will put their slippers and have coffee and do nothing." And they realized, contrarily to that assumption, that people were more productive during COVID and working from home, and that they would work more hours because there was no, like, I tried to see, I have an office that's apart from my house. So when I pass the door and I come here, I work. And when I get out of it, I don't work. That's what I've been trying to do. So psychologically, you have to put barriers between your personal life and your work life. But a lot of people got work all over their face and they work, So, but that trend, it probably accelerated tenfold because we had no choice. Like personally, do you work from home now or still? Or?
Yeah, I'm working from home. So actually, this is a great example of my company. We were all going to office every day, and there was no like flexibility. And actually, in pandemic, our team's proven to work well, and the policy has changed for better, and people are happy. We have flexible working now, and I think it did like I feel it's like progression for our company and for people to be more, they could travel to different offices and maybe like even stay with their families and don't go to office, and also have a bit of more work-life balance or take care of their families as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So I think the hybrid form will end up being the norm. Like sometimes it feels good to be with our colleagues in person. And when we talked together the first time, I was mentioning to you, when we meet in person, people we knew virtually only, there's like a mini discomfort at first because we kind of, we know each other, but we don't. And we see the effect of the presence, and there's nothing that will replace real presence to have a holistic experience, but still it's efficient. Remember, not so long ago, I would talk to you, then I would be, my voice would become or I would disappear. Now the technology is super good. Like you're in London, I'm in Montreal right now, and it's as if we were in the same room, you know?
Yeah, that's
So
amazing.
yeah. There are
Um,
questions, I think. We could
Yeah, there are like a few questions, but first I just would like to ask you something about, because I think there are lots of startups and lots of investors are listening to us. I just want to get your opinion on opportunities for new businesses in metaverse. So you mentioned gaming already, which is already kind of happening. Do you, maybe you have any other opinion of what you think going to be hot, and and the companies that want to be more in metaverse space, where should be heading? What else apart from gaming would be there?
okay. I think a big part of there are two ways I think the virtual world will happen. On one side, we will be as realistic as possible. Like it will be me as much as possible. And let's say I want to play chess with my friend who's in Moscow. We will look at each other. And even though I'll be like a ghost, a virtual ghost kind of, but I will still be me, I will want it to look like me as much as possible. The other side is the most extravagant, bizarre, strange me that I can imagine. So I might become, as I said, a flying rabbit, and I will be purple, and I will have a superpower, and my eyes will be able to change colors, and I will be like David Bowie, one blue eye, one red eye, one green eye, and stuff. So everybody that's working into the technology of digital art, digital imagery, computer generated imagery, these people will, I think, be very solicited, because we will want to have, as I said, on one side, either super realistic or super fantasy. And in both cases, the creative minds will be solicited. The creative mind for the realistic will be more like technology centered, because they won't want to create the image. I mean, they won't invent new images, but they will want to be faithful to the real thing. And that's a challenge, because it's really, you know that the internet right now is not made for the metaverse. When I talk to you on Facebook, let's say, on Messenger, we have the feeling that it's from me to you. It is not true. It's from me to Facebook server, from Facebook server to you. So because the internet is made like that, being simultaneously like 10, 20, or 100 people and interacting is a technological challenge. And this is not solved yet. It's almost as if the infrastructure of the internet has to be revamped and has to be restructured, because right now, because of that, going to Facebook, then to you, this intermediary gives a charge that stops the metaverse from being fluid and instant and stuff like that. So then also for coders and programmers, there will be a challenge of I would call it redesigning the internet to fit
Oh,
the needs.
yes. For sure. Yeah, but it sounds like a great opportunity for university students. If you want to be graphic designer, if you want to be software engineering,
Yeah.
if you want to do anything to do with 3D rendering, I think it's a perfect time to study this.
Yes,
Sounds like
absolutely.
something that will be in demand very soon.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's and also everything that's related to trade, to protection, also protection. Imagine protection of your data,
Yes. Yes.
protection of your
Actually,
assets.
we had like a question right now about what scare you the most in the virtual world. So I think we should touch a little bit on the privacy, and something that I would like to get your opinion on is do you believe it will be safe in metaverse? Do we trust all the Facebook and other big giants who potentially have metaverse to store our data and like to know everything about us? Not just like when we play or do something basic, but actually when we live in metaverse. What do you think about this?
Well, it's one of the most dangerous thing that will happen to humans. It is before people were very protective of their data, and some sociologists and analysts think this is the biggest transfer of willfully giving away your personal information that has ever happened. It is we give so much information about ourselves and willfully. You know that everybody knows that, like, if I'm looking for a trip to Rome on the internet, then I go to Facebook and I see the Colosseum in my Facebook feed. And the first time I saw that, I said, oh my God, this is the devil. They're following me everywhere, So this gives so much power to those entities. Some people worry about Tencent, for example, because they have WeChat, but WeChat is not only a messaging app, it's also a trade app. It gives you, people say that Tencent is more advanced than Facebook because they already have a metaverse where people have their personal data. They have Amazon, Facebook, Instagram in the same company, Tencent. So there's a competition between countries now. And let's say some people worry that TikTok gives information to China because they supposedly, the algorithm of TikTok is better than Facebook's. And with time, they know exactly what you like, what you don't like. So they can influence you. The power to influence humans will become so huge. They say that they can predict in advance who you're going to vote for. And so they're going to, one thing in Canada or US, when you have elections, they say, take your vote and make your people vote, Historically, you would phone and say, hey, go vote for Mrs. So-and-so. And so, because if they stay at home, they don't vote, right? But now people, they know, okay, this guy likes this kind of music. I even listened to a thesis yesterday on the radio, and the doctorate thesis was about what does the music you listen to tell about yourself? If you like rap, or if you like rock, or if you like hip hop, supposedly with that comes almost the food you'll eat or who you're going to vote for. So anyways, it's so precious, our data, and it gives so much power. We don't want to become puppets, right? That people will just pull our strings and make us go like that or like that, So it really is important. And I think Europe is more advanced than America on that. We need rules, very strict rules, in order for us to be protected. And people neglect how important it is. It is so important to protect.
Yeah, I think also one of the reasons Snapchat becomes so popular is because their messages disappears and users don't have a profile there, so they feel very safe and secure. There's almost no digital footprint. You can save obviously what you send to your friends. You can send all these videos, images, but it's considered, like, I think Gen Zs are very, very on it. They don't want data to be shared and etc. And actually, there's a trend that like less and less Gen Zs like joining platforms like Facebook, where you store lots of your pictures and data. So everyone like really looking into privacy right now. And actually, I was thinking about this another day. I could, let's say, if I go for a walk and meet my friends, I feel that no one is tracking me like I'm doing on my own. But what if I go and have a video call with my friend? Probably lots of things that we talk could be, I don't know how actually my data would be stored. Would they extract something that we talk and send me some information? Would it be stored? Would it be stored on some server, and etc.? So yeah, like at the moment I feel that doing something offline is actually leave less footprints and digital footprints and less things to think about.
Yeah, that's true. Well, because already I remember years ago when we thought, oh, they know where we are all the time. And that's true. Like, and our phones, we don't. I was going to say, oh, let's put our phones in the drawer so Facebook thinks we're at home, and let's go to the city. And
Yeah.
they will say, so, but we need our phones so much now, and that's another reason people say the metaverse is going to come. They say that statistically, I think people spend what 4 hours per day or more on their phone already right now. So this is a
Might be more.
it is a virtual life already, you know. It's so we are already in the machine. The machine as far as eaten us, you know. That it will happen, but then people have to mobilize. And you're so right that the real thing. I mean, the metaverse will never give me a good pasta with a sauce that smells good
Yeah,
and
food is
tastes
not no digital food.
so let's not forget that reality is great too, you know. I gave a conference in Seattle 2 weeks ago, and my title was, is reality that boring that we need to escape
Yeah.
it so badly? You know, I think there's a lot to appreciate in reality. Let's not forget that, you know, even though
Yeah.
there's magic with virtual stuff, I think both have to coexist, and let's not give away our life to the digital universe.
Yeah. And also, like, one question that I want to ask you, because obviously Vested is a conscious summit. So, do you think that Metaverse will help us to tackle some of their social issues?
Well, hopefully it will, because it can allow us to regroup easily, let's say for a cause, or you can give to charity. It's very easy now. You don't have to go to a place, and you can just do it online. You can have a political cause, and you'll mobilize your friends and stuff. One thing that we should work on, I think, they call it the effect of the echo chamber. We end up with people that think like us. We end up with media that we like to read. And at one point, it's as if we have this feeling that the world is, let's say, a pro environment, or that the world is will respect gender difference, or will not be racist, or this or that. But at one point, you realize, oh, but it's my friends and me, we are like that, and we are like-minded people, and we think that the world is evolving as we are. But then if you go in other forums and other places, you kind of go, whoops, okay, there's a lot going on that's not going the way I think the world should go, you know. So let's say you want to respect difference, and you want to empower people of color who were discriminated against for ages. Well, probably with your friends, you'll be able to think, oh, yeah, well, it's obvious now that we should help people. But then there's a lot of racist forums on the other side and stuff. So we have to open our minds to see wider than our echo chamber. And because otherwise, our thought process, the less idea we have, the more we become like a horse with the, I don't know how you call this, but you know what I mean. You don't see except right in front of you. But yes, I think the social movement can and will happen. Some people say, for example, the Arab Spring was made possible by the social media. You know, that's what created it. But then at the same time, you have other countries in Southeast Asia where there was a massacre that was also supported supposedly by social media, and it made it possible. So it can be, as everything, it can have a good use or a bad use, and hopefully people will make it a good use.
Yeah, and also quite interesting. If I'm thinking, if I could attend my friend's birthday and Metaverse is gonna provide me almost the same experience, it could save on like on the footprint, and less flights need to be taking, and less hassle, I guess, with traveling and stuff. So I guess it could be like a good thing that we could more virtually participate in our family and friends' life.
Yeah, I think we can save a lot, like, let's say on planes. I mean, taking a plane is cool, but it's not cool for the environment, you know. So, I mean, if I can, if you went to London or I went to Montreal, we would have polluted the earth right now. But one thing, though, that people have to be careful, we are polluting it right now as we speak also. Because servers and people say blockchain, for example, the way the blockchain crunches data and stuff, it takes a lot of data. So we use a lot of energy. The digital world is not squeaky clean. We have this feeling that, oh, we're not polluting anything right now. But we are, because we need so much energy to process those things.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you need even more if you want to have like proper experience for multiple people. You need like huge servers, and you need lots of like cooling machines and other devices. So it's really could provide like radiation, etc. So for environment, yeah, I agree. We forget about it. That it's that it's also part of the equation.
Yeah, we have to find ways to change that, I guess. But it's like everything. With humans, I have a feeling too often they change when they have no choice. You know, mostly things that they like. Like yesterday here, there were winds up to 90 kilometers an hour. That was the leftover from Kentucky. They say that the United States had the worst tornadoes in their history yesterday. There was more than 100 people who died. And here in Canada, we got the leftover from that. And just 90 kilometers an hour, I went out and my hat went poof. And I thought, okay, the planet is changing. But what are we waiting for? Am I waiting for a tree to fall on my house and say, okay, enough? You know, so humans have a tendency to say, oh, well, it will go away. But we really have to be conscious about what's changing. And we should, if it would be so great if we stopped things before it gets worse, you know. But we have a tendency to change only when we're already in the problem, instead of preventing the problem. And hopefully discussions could happen on forums and stuff about saying,
yeah,
okay,
for
let's
sure.
not go there. Let's not go to the worst tornadoes in the world before we do something about the environment, you know. So hopefully we will mobilize also with social media.
That's why I have like lots of respect for Scale Up Ventures at this
Yes, me
powers.
too.
So they invest in amazing social conscious businesses, which is also lots of them tech driven. So I think I believe that more VCs and more companies need to go that way. So that also we also need to encourage entrepreneurship in that area as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, responsible investment is a trend, and hopefully it's not vaporware. It will happen for real. More and more people say, oh, we won't invest in fossil fuel anymore. We will invest in electricity. We will, you know, so this is also something we can do. You know, we vote with our money too. So if we say, okay, I'm not going to buy this because it's not good for the planet, and I'm going to buy this instead, and I'm going to buy locally grown food, and I'm going to, you know, so there's a lot we can do with our money, and we should, and what Vested Summit is doing is exactly that, offering us ways to improve the world through investments in technology, and I love that. Hello.
Hey, wow. I don't know. I think that's a beautiful note to end on. I don't know. What do you think, Tatiana?
Yeah, definitely agree. I think I would love to see more startups who like conscious driven and they tech driven, and we definitely have to support those.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Pierre and Tatjana. That was a super insightful session. I learned a lot. Yeah, from that, I'm not the only one who thinks VR is pretty intense to, to do that for a long while. But then the metaverse, I thought that was more like something far away, but actually you explained well, it's already here. And I think you painted a great picture of the magic it can bring, but also the dangers. So that was very insightful. And there were also some topics, like a lot of topics actually, you touched upon that are super interesting. And I just wanted to say there was a great session on NFTs yesterday. So for people who want to hear more about that, you can still watch it back. And there is one coming up this evening as well on NFTs creating a new wave of sustainable travel. So that might be interesting to join as well. Yeah, and our next session will be about blockchain for sustainability and ESG. So you also, I think, touched upon that a little bit. So it's great. And then I already want to very much invite everyone to join us tonight for the Shark Zone competition, which is from 5 till 8 till 5 till 9. So an hour of live pitching sessions from new startups. So if you want to know the new things that are coming up and give them some support and warm energy, then yeah, welcome to join. And yeah, the winners of this pitching session will qualify um, uh, to win, let me see, 100K in investment by Scale Up Ventures. So there's a lot at stake. So I hope to see you there. But first, the next session coming up is in about 5 minutes on blockchain for sustainability. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.